and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Instead of taking one team and showing you 5 battles, I'm going to take 5 different teams and show you one battle for each. Hopefully this will give some inspiration for what teams to take into the return of Great League, which will be coming back to us when we get Season 7 of the Go Battle League, which should be 2 or 3 hours from when this video goes live. Fingers crossed, if I can get it edited and up in time. If my internet doesn't let me down with upload speed. Come on, internet. So a couple of these teams I've featured on the channel before, but some I haven't, so keep an eye out for a new team hidden in the mix of these. I thought it would be handy to have one video putting all the teams together, so if you're looking for multiple ideas, you can find them in one place, rather than having to troll through multiple long videos, because nobody has time for that. So these practice battles were done with the fantastic AwesomeXen. He has a YouTube channel too. I'll pop a card up, it'll either be here or here. I don't know which way it's gonna pop up. I'm not good at this, but it'll be somewhere. It'll be in the description box below too, if you'd like to click on and go and have a look at his channel. He does brilliant PvP stuff. I really love his style of commentary, it's just so much fun to listen to, so I couldn't recommend him enough. He'll be doing a video with some more of the battles that we did when we practiced, so if you want to see me getting my ass kicked, go and have a look. Okay, without any further ado, let's jump in. So we're starting off with my all-time favourite Great League team. Galarian Stunfisk lead, Mandibuzz safe swap and Alolan Ninetales in the back. So we're picking up a positive lead and they're immediately swapping out to Galvantula. I'm going to stay in because all of Galvantula's moves are resisted by Stunfisk. The attack debuff on Lunge is irritating, but Stunfisk is actually my best counter of my whole team, so I'm definitely happy to stay in here. Rock Slide, of course, will be doing super effective damage for me too, though I imagine there'll be some shields being thrown because people tend to shield up their Galvantula. So I've got an attack incoming which I will not be shielding. This will be the second Lunge, yep, the second attack debuff, which sucks. But shielding doesn't stop the debuff, so there's no point. You may as well let the damage go through, take the debuff on the chin. So we're firing off a Rock Slide, which is super effective. The first one was shielded, but this one isn't. The third one, let's see if this gets a shield. I wouldn't expect so. No shield, and that's Galvantula down. Now they swap in, I believe, yep, it's a fighting type. Now I'm happy to lose switch advantage here because I know there's an Altaria in the back. Both of their Pokemon are taking super effective damage from Charm, so I don't mind whichever one is put up against my Charmer. So we're firing an Ice Beam for super effective damage against the Altaria. It is shielded, and that is their last shield gone. Now I'm going to protect my Ninetales because this has brilliant coverage against both of their remaining Pokemon. So I want my Ninetales to stay in the game. And brilliant, we've charmed down and only had to use one shield for the Altaria. Now they have no shields left, so we're going to fire a Weather Ball. My Charms have taken that Hitmontop down to almost half its health, so the Weather Ball will KO or come very close. Yep, that's in the red, and that is just one Charm away. And that is the game. This is basically exactly what you want with this team. You want something in the lead that not only can Stunfisk beat, but something in the back can beat too, because that way, when they switch out, even if you switch out to follow, you know you've got multiple options that can do the job for you. Altaria is the perfect lead for this team, so that couldn't have gone better really. So for our second matchup there, you saw me pick Confusion. I thought that was a funny pun. It's probably not, but I thought it was good, okay? So we've got an Altaria lead here. This is nowhere near as good of a lead as it was for my first team. All my moves are resisted. Surf is resisted by the Dragon typing, and so is Electric. Of course, it is super effective against flying, so it does neutral damage. That being said, it's still not going to do as much as it would if it was super effective, of course. So I've built up to 2 wild charges because when I throw, it'll lower my defense, and I don't want to be taking fast moves with lowered defense between the 2 build-ups. So if they've swapped and I'm throwing in another wild charge anyway, it's not very effective against Galvantula, but it still does over half its health. Now I snuck in a Surf there because the animation for Volt Switch is so long. It's a 4-turn move, 2 seconds. So I've snuck in a Surf and taken both of their shields. So we're going to come in with a Scrafty Of course, Lunge does super effective damage, but Volt Switch doesn't, whereas Volt Switch would do super effective against Skarmory, and their electric charge move would too. So I'm going to fire in a power up punch. This won't take this boy out, but it will boost my attack, and hopefully my boosted counters will take him out. Yeah, okay. Oh, I swapped. I didn't even know I was going to do that. See, I surprised myself, mainly because my memory's so bad. So I swapped into Skarmory for the super effective flying fast move, and that took out that spider. Now it is a Skarmory versus Altaria match-off. Now, Skarmory does come out on top most of the time, especially if he's got a health or energy lead. So this is a one matchup for Skarmory. And oh no, there's Hitmontop in the back, which that's not good for Hitmontop. Skarmory is doing super effective flying versus fighting, and this Sky attack will KO or come very close. Yep, one more fast move and that is down. We only have the Altaria left now. See if I can get to a Sky attack before they do, and I do, and I overtap and don't throw the Sky attack, and they throw theirs instead. But I know they don't have a second one because Altaria isn't the fastest to its charge moves, so I can throw in Scrafty, one counter, and that is the game. Okay, new team who dis. We've got Stunfisk in the lead, Venusaur in second, and Drifblim in the back. Now this is a fairly neutral matchup. Umbreon versus Stunfisk, they're both very tanky and they both take neutral damage from one another. So I'm just going to keep farming and hope they're going to try and catch. Which if they do, that's fine. They get one of their moves off on me before I can get a Venusaur in, which will be doing super effective damage, grass on their water type. Now, Jellicent has two moves. That one, Shadow Ball, which hits very hard, and usually it is run with Bubble Beam, which is a massive baity move. Doesn't really do much even if you're firing it against a fire type. It does debuff your attack, which is a bit annoying, but mainly it's used as a bait. And they, in that situation, played it pretty much spot on. They fired the Shadow Ball and I thought, this will be a bait. Let it through, nearly KO'd my poor Venusaur. But we fired the Frenzy Plant, took out the Jellicent because they didn't want to invest 2 shields in one Pokemon, I imagine. That Altaria has taken out my Venusaur, but that's okay because my switch clock has ran all the way through now. Meaning when I switch in here, my Drifblim, I can switch in that Stunfisk if they try and switch out. Icy Wind will be doing double super effective because it's super effective against both Dragon and Flying type Pokemon. It also has an attack debuff, which is really nice. Now, I'm expecting either Sky Attack or Dragon Pulse, but either way I'll be shielding. They're both quite high damage moves on a Pokemon like Drifblim, which it's not squishy, but it's definitely not tanky either. Besides, I definitely want to get another Icy Wind off, so I don't want to risk my Pokemon being taken too low for me to be able to do that. Now, I wanted to catch their Sky Attack and they wanted to catch my Icy Wind, so we end up both switching at the exact same time. Now, I have an energy and shield advantage on this Umbreon, so what was a fairly neutral matchup has now turned into probably a one matchup for me. So they've fired their first Foul Play, I fired my Earthquake, and I'm going in with a second Earthquake. Now my plan here is to fire this move off, shield the next Foul Play, and then hopefully a Rock Slide will take the Umbreon out for me. I could potentially not shield here, but the risk is if they Foul Play and take me out with fast moves before I Rock Slide, that leaves their Umbreon with quite a bit of energy stored, ready to fire a Dark type move against Drifblim. A Dark type move would take Drifblim out as it's super effective and I would lose the game. What I should have done here is switched into Drifblim. I'm only one fast move away from Icy Wind and I could have taken out the Altaria, but I wanted to try and see if I could get off a Rock Slide. It doesn't really matter though, because as I said, I was only one fast move away. Altaria can't farm down the G-Fisk, so he had to throw, meaning when my Drifblim comes in, the Altaria definitely doesn't have any stored energy and cannot throw a move before I can. So in the end, that's a win for me, even though I could have possibly played that a little better at the end. Right, now we're going to get an in-depth look into the sheer density of my brain. I'd written out a list of what order I wanted to play these teams in, so I knew which team was coming next. Despite that, I swapped back and forth between the Pokemon teams, having a total spoon moment and could not decide. but I went for can't no in the end. Now, I ran this team on PV Poke and had a look, and it does match up okay against the Open Great League meta. It's far better in Kanto, which is what it was designed for though. So I would recommend, if you're looking for a really solid, reliable team, one of the other 4 that was specifically designed for Open Great League over this one. But this one is still viable, and if you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge, this is the one for you. Okay, so we had a fairly neutral lead there. They switched out to the Jellicent safe swap, and I came in with Venusaur again. Now we've got to play Charge Move Roulette again. They threw Shadow Ball first in our previous match, so I thought, okay, we'll shield. But they were probably expecting me to do that, and they baited with Bubble Beam. So we're now going to throw a Frenzy Plant, which gets a shield. And even though this is probably Shadow Ball, I've got to let this through. I can tank one and get to another Frenzy Plant, which is all I really want from this matchup, and I'm not going to invest 2 shields in one matchup. So we're going in with the Frenzy Plant. If this isn't shielded, it will KO, but it is shielded. They go for the farm down. Now I do actually reach Frenzy Plant, but you see I tap it there, so I must have lost CMP tie with the Jellicent. They fire off a Bubble Beam, which is really all you need in a situation like that, as the health is so tiny anyway. Now even though Snorlax's Lick would do super effective Ghost on Ghost, I swap in Hypno. This is because I want to build some energy on my Hypno, because there we are, I'm hoping they're going to come back in with that Stunfisk. I've got Focus Blast on my Hypno, which is not only super effective against Stunfisk Steel typing, but it's a massive power move. And they have no shield, so it's the perfect time to use it, as I can safely waste, or fire, all that energy and not worry that it'll be wasted on a shield. There we go, that blast damage going in. Now they have a Venusaur in the back, which is really unfortunate. Confusion chunks away at the best of times, but super effective against poison. It does devastating damage. Now I fire off a Thunder Punch, which does less damage than 1 Confusion, which is just ridiculous. But I wanted to use it anyway, just to make sure I could win this matchup. I'm going to shield this Frenzy Plant, and 1 more Confusion takes me to the win. Alright, our 5th and final team features an Azu lead, Meganium second, and Frostlass in the back. So we pick up a positive lead there against Umbreon. We get that Jellicent safe switch again. Now I'm building all the way up. So when the Umbreon inevitably comes back in later, if my Azu's still around, I've got to play rough to immediately fire. Even if they don't bait, I know I can take a Shadow Ball fairly easily on that Azu. So now we're switching into my own counter. I am yet again playing the bait or no bait game with this Jellicent, and again I lose. But that's okay, because Meganium takes Shadow Ball a fair bit better than Venusaur does. So we're firing off our Frenzy Plant. I expect this will get shielded. Yep, there we go. They want to get another Shadow Ball off if they can. I'm going to shield this second one, although fantastically I don't have to, because this time I managed to win CMP, throw my Frenzy Plant, and this will either, KO or get a shield, and it KOs. Really happy with that, as I managed to win switch from that second matchup there. Now their Altaria's coming in, I can barely touch this thing, and yes, I managed to get the switch, so I've saved all that Meganium's health. Unfortunately, they double switched back in as well, so now I've got a Dark type against my Ghost type, which really is not good. I believe I said Meganium's health then. I meant Meganium's energy, of course. Health is nearly gone, but we have a Frenzy Plant loaded. Right, so I'm going to let this Foul Play go through, as it does a decent chunk of damage, but all I really wanted here was to fire another Avalanche. I don't really want to be shielding my Frostlass too much, because I know this is a lost matchup, so I don't want to use shields in a matchup that I can't win anyway. I managed to get to another Avalanche, I presume, because my opponent was going for the farm down rather than throwing, and that in turn nearly takes out the Umbreon. Now I'll be coming in with the Azu, which has all that loaded health, if you remember. I'm going to shield this up because I don't want to take the damage, even though it's not going to be too much. It is last resort, which is neutral. Now here comes the Altaria. I can fire off a Play Rough here, super effective against Dragon types. This should do a decent chunk for me, and it does. They're coming back in with their Flying type move, which again I shield up. I have a 2 shield advantage, so I may as well use my shields and ensure my ensure my Azu can survive to come back and fight that Umbreon, which is still hiding in the back with a little bit of health. Now, even if they get to a move, which they do, I'm confident I can take at least 1 last resort. I might be able to take 2, let's have a look. Ooh, 2 would be pushing it, but I can definitely take 1. Now, I'm about to hit play rough, but I bubble down in the meantime anyway. There we have it, 5 Great League teams for Open Great League. All the teams are solid and reliable. If I had to say the best team of the bunch, my personal favourite and the one that helped me reach my personal best ELO in Season 6 was the first team. That's the Galarian Stunfisk lead, Mandibuzz Safe Swap and Alolan Ninetales in the back. I really love that team, it's the one I'm most comfortable with, so therefore I think I probably have the most success. That's a good point actually. If you're looking for a team and you're finding you're switching between lots of teams and nothing's working for you, find one you like and stick with it. Learning your mashups inside out, knowing exactly when to shield, what your Pokemon can tank and what they can't, is more useful than having a team with, say, perfect IVs over just good IVs. Get a team you like and learn it inside out. That is, if I could give one piece of advice, that would be it. Okay, if you liked the video, please do give me a like, comment on what you thought, and for lots more PvP content in the future, a minimum of 2 videos per week, hello, rabbit ears, 2 videos per week, please do subscribe. Don't forget to nip over to AwesomeXen's channel too. There's a partner video to this one you've just watched, plus loads of amazing PvP content. Hop over to his channel and subscribe. And last but definitely not least, the Fight Club Ultra League tournament has kicked off. We are on our way, ladies and gentlemen, and so far the battles have been incredible. Hop over to the Fight Club official YouTube channel to see all of the matches there. Danny does amazing commentary and puts together some fantastic videos with proper stellar editing that I couldn't even think of competing with. So hop on over to that channel to see some absolute giants in the PvP world duking it out in Ultra League. Okay, I think that's everything. Fight Club.